What's up, Vankas?
Hello, Vankas.
How is everybody doing?
How are you doing? Are you excited? It's coming back up. It's pretty soon.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm so excited, dude.
I missed it.
Dude,
Although, I gotta say, been a pretty good break for us.
It's nice to have a break because the pod, as the pod's gaining steam, my days are getting less and less free. The pod's becoming the full-time thing, baby.
I was talking about a good break, like we did it. We won the break. Like we had Nicole Piastri.
Oh, yeah. Oh, totally. Listen, we won the year. It's all gravy at this point. We had Nicole Piastri on. It broke the F1 internet. Good luck to any other F1 content creators for the rest of the year. That's just like what I have to say. We've
thrown the gauntlet down.
It's like that kid in the Olympics who, was he's like American, but he has Swedish origin. He did the pole vault. Yeah, Armand Duplantis. Shout out to that king. He broke his own world record at the Olympics this year. We had Daniel Ricciardo, and then we broke our own world. We got Gunter. Then we broke that with Daniel Ricciardo. Then we broke that with Nicole Piastri. It's just been a crazy year.
Dude, did you know, not to like blow ourselves for too much longer. But just so I have to do this because I get humbled all the time.
Yeah.
I tell my girlfriend, I say, hey, Joanna, we're on the Australia charts. She's like, oh, you're on lots of charts. I'm like, no. We are number 79 in Australia. She's like, yeah, but you're on a lot of charts. And I go, no. Like those are sports charts. We're just like straight up 79th in Australia. That includes sports, politics, history, art. And she just looked at me and she goes, people in Australia are dumb.
That's right.
And I went, thanks, babe. She was
like, you humble, dude.
Yeah. So this is the only place I get to brag because everywhere else I'm just a fucking loser.
Yeah, dude. No, our girlfriends don't care about this shit, but the people who listen to this podcast, I guess, do. And to all of our new subscribers, thank you for being here. The summer break's almost over. We have our episode, Venka Hours with Gunter Steiner is coming back. It'll be up this upcoming Thursday will be our first episode. Will be released of that. So stay tuned for that. And this episode, we're going to be covering a bunch of different stuff. We're covering some of the stuff in the news, but we're also going to be covering our predictions that we made at the beginning of the year, how they're stacking up now, our predictions for the rest of the season. And we're going to be covering a little bit what these drivers have been getting up to in their little summer breaks. Also, we were on Fan Behavior pod this week. So after this, why don't you go over to their YouTube channel, or where, if you're listening to this on Spotify or wherever you listen to it, you can go listen there. And we had a great time talking to them. They're the best. And we said it on their pod, but Daniel Ricciardo needs to go on their pod next. That's just what needs to happen. We're trying to manifest that for them. Because they said that they've manifested stuff for us. Okay, dude, let's talk a little bit of news.
Seems like we should start with our tax dollars being at work over here with Liberty Media being investigated by the Department of Justice.
Yeah, there's nothing else going on. There's nothing else going on in the country right now, so it's important that the Gov is really spending our hard-earned tax dollars on the right kind of stuff,
Well, it's interesting because they were they did a really deep dive into this on Miss Apex. They were talking to lawyers about how this is an an antitrust suits, and the victims of this thing are technically not Andretti. It's us,
right?
The American public.
Yeah,
It is the American public, the viewers, are being deprived of Andretti being on the grid. That you and I and all the Americans are really, when we turn on to see Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Lando Norris, Oscar Piastri, that we are being deprived of Colton Herta mixing it up in there.
Yeah.
That's sort of what it actually is.
Well, that's the argument. That's what they're saying.
That's
what it actually is that Andretti is like, we want in, dude.
Yeah.
With the freak, dude. And but the legal argument is that the public suffers because of this monopoly.
Right. And I guess, and the reason, I mean, you get it why, like, okay, if Google has a monopoly, right? Which they've recently been in trouble for, or Microsoft has a monopoly.
Yeah. Or Facebook has a monopoly.
Or Facebook has a monopoly. Like, we could suffer because no competition means that they can make a shittier product or, you know, just any grocery store has a monopoly. Then they could charge us more. They don't have to have competitive pricing because there's no competition. Like, you can really see how we suffer. I don't really know how much we're suffering.
Yeah. Are you suffering, Matt? You suffering this year?
I don't feel like I'm suffering this year.
I'm not suffering.
It would look, I wouldn't say I'm suffering. It would be nice to have an 11th team. It would be nice to have an 11th team on the grid. I'm not saying I don't want Andretti on the grid.
Right.
But I wouldn't say I'm suffering that they're not.
Right.
I don't want to come off anti-Andretti. But the idea that I'm suffering.
Yeah.
That the Department of Justice is investigating this.
Yeah.
Because it just feels like a stretch to me.
Yeah, it's a big stretch. I mean, we watch it. Now, here's the thing with these monopolies.
I look at my drug prices. I look at my medical costs, and I go, I'm suffering here. I look at my insurance premiums. I'm suffering.
Yeah.
I look at the gas pump. I'm suffering.
Right.
I turn on F1. I go,
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, part of like why we watch it is because it's exclusive. Is because it's hard to get into, is because that it's not for everyone, and that it's a club that we all want to feel like we're a part of, but we kind of know that we're not, and we kind of enjoy the kind of spit in my mouth element of it. So
yeah, F1 hates us.
F1
hates us, Brian.
Right.
I mean, F1. I mean, we're not going to talk about it, but F1 has expressly said to certain content creators that we don't like you.
Yeah.
And we're like, thank you, sir. May I have another?
That's right.
It's
good.
Awesome.
We are good little boys, and we just like to be kind of tied up and spanked.
Dude, when we got paddock passes by accident, we went into F1 and they were like, Gunther got us an interview with Stefano Domenicali.
Right.
And we had an interview with Stefano Domenicali. We had it for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We walked in there and they went, it was an Italian woman. She was like, it was very black and sleek. Their paddock. It was like very, honestly, to bring it back to IndyCar, it was very Penske Death Star vibes.
Right. Totally.
They both have the same aesthetic, which is like, we are Death Star.
Yeah.
And it was very Death Star vibes. It was very like we're about to just laser an entire planet.
Yeah.
And the woman was like the gorgeous woman.
Yeah.
And at the front desk was like, who are you? I don't know what accent I'm doing. She's about to yodel.
Yeah.
I'll just continue with the wrong accent. And I'm like, we're Red Flags Podcast. And she's like, who are you here to see?
Yeah.
And Susie Wolf, I shit you not, Susie Wolf just sashayed by us.
Right.
She almost floated.
Yeah. And she was absolutely floating.
She was, you cannot convince me that she was walking with her feet. Okay?
I've never seen her take a step in person, tell you that much.
She goes, who are you here to see?
Yes.
And I said, we're here to see Stefano Domenicali, the CEO. We thought she would do a tone shift. Like, oh, that's a horse of another color, like the Wizard of Oz, right? There'd be a tone shift. No tone shift. She goes, oh, wait right here. And we waited for 15 minutes, like in the corner.
Yeah.
Like,
and then I walked up and I was like, because you were there before me, I walked up and I was like, "What's the deal?" And Matt was like, they're just telling us to wait. They don't want it. They don't want us here. And I was like, okay, we're getting the fuck out of here. We're going back to our friends over at Pirelli.
Yeah.
But before that, can this woman smack me in the face once because I like it? Because it would.
I want to
good.
get the experience.
Yeah.
I want to get the experience. I don't want to, dude. Honestly, if they said right this way, I would have lost respect for them.
Yeah.
It's Groucho Marx. It's
yeah.
like,
I wouldn't want to be a part of any club that would have me as a member. This is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's really what the fandom. That's what a lot of the fandom is. It's like we all say we want to be a part of it, and of course on some, but like we all on some level know that we're not.
Dude, when I was in the paddock, I was like, this place is going to shit.
Right. Yeah.
What am I doing here?
They let us in.
They let us in.
Yeah. So I'm not feeling deprived. I'm feeling, if anything, like it's too accessible and that it shouldn't be. And they should probably kick out other teams, and it should be 9 teams, maybe 8. Honestly, 10 is pushing it.
If Congress should investigate, and I feel deprived as a viewer. I feel deprived because they already have an American team. It's Haas, and they got rid of Gunther. That's why that's how I, as a viewer, feel deprived.
Right. Yeah.
That there's no Gunther Steiner anymore. Right. I mean, thank God for us. We brought him back.
Right.
From a media perspective. But there is an American team. It's Haas Racing.
Yeah.
And I don't feel deprived.
Yeah.
I think part of the fun is to be deprived.
Absolutely.
Is to feel a little deprived.
Yes. That's the whole point. You don't watch Monaco to think like, wow, everyone's allowed. You know what I mean? It's like the Hunger Games.
Yes, it's
and we're in district whatever, the one that's not the good one. And we're all getting little television access into the good one. And that's just that's the core element of it. So Congress might get in the way of that, and then all of a sudden, it's open season, and anyone who's got enough. It's
cash?
not even about enough money. I guess cash, but like if Andretti could, apparently Alpine is still kind of a little bit up for sale.
Yeah, but the whole idea.
But they don't want that. They don't want to
do
do that.
They want to get in. Here's the problem is that the old Concord Agreement said the whole Concord Agreement was put in place when. The old Concord Agreement was put in place when F1 wasn't worth as much.
Right.
And they hadn't instituted the budget cap, and they were hemorrhaging money, and it was like a fucking loser to own one of these teams.
Yes.
Unless you were like Mercedes or Ferrari. Right. It was a fucking loser.
Even for them, like they debated. I mean, there's times where they were like, what the fuck? Why are we spending X
They're
amount
spending
on this?
$450 million to win these things.
Right.
So, but now it's like, you can only spend 150 million. Right. And you're bringing in tons of revenue, and
then you're immediately worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
You spend $250,000 and then you get in there and and then all of a sudden your asset is worth 5x, 4x.
But the problem is that growth period happened within the the span of this Concord Agreement. So it's almost like a loophole. They found a loophole.
Right.
And I think F1 would be okay with them with them. They're not saying this. They're not saying the quiet part out loud. The quiet part out loud is you could come in, we'll take you, but you shouldn't get in for $250 million. That's bullshit.
Right. That's what they're saying. 100%.
That they're trying to move the goalpost on them. Kind of fairly.
Well, yeah, from a business perspective, it's like if they can get in, if Andretti can get in for $250 million or whatever it is, that's an amazing investment because it quadruples the moment you get in. All of a sudden, you're one of the now 11 teams in Formula One. These teams are worth like $1 billion each. So you spend you spend a quarter bill, and then you're worth $1 billion. That's a great deal. And what
the buy-in
is saying,
what everyone
is saying is that's too low. And I'm probably on
That's
some
not
level
what they said, though. That's the problem.
Right.
Is that's not what they said. They said they wouldn't add value. That they're. What did they actually literally say? They said some really catty, sassy shit.
Yeah, it's some European business.
They said that they would add no value. That they suck. They said something to the value that they were not competitive enough. That they wouldn't add value. They said something to that effect.
And the argument is that it dilutes the value of the other teams. There's an 11th team, all of a sudden you're, X percentage, there's just more supply. So your demand for what you have is just a little bit less. So then your value goes down. And
I think that there's also this idea that, okay, this American fan base is growing. We have 3 races in America.
Right.
1 million people tune in now every race. That F1 should, and F1's actually, unfortunately for Liberty Media at the moment, F1's for F1 company. Is an American-owned company. So that it should cater more to American fans. And I think the people that live in Indiana, who live in this bubble, they're like, well, people want to see Andretti on there. And it's like, maybe people in Indiana, maybe people in Indianapolis, like, who call their congressman and say, I want to see Andretti. But like people in California, people in New York.
Totally.
People in Florida, like, do people in coastal states or do urban people who don't follow IndyCar racing, do they give a shit about Andretti? Or do people like you and me love the foreignness to it?
That's the majority of what it is. Now, they teamed up with GM, and Cadillac. That's part of the shtick. That actually brings more of a name brand. Cadillac is more of a name brand than Andretti. But then Ford's coming in with Red Bull. So now all of a sudden you've got Ford in there. That's the most iconic American car brand is Ford. Certainly more than Cadillac. But if you got some
Ford's
type of
coming
American,
in just as a badge. They're not actually...
Of course. Yeah, sure. But to the average consumer, you just hear, oh, it's Ford. What, okay, cool. I know what that fuck that is. So all of that, if they were in, it would be cool. I just don't know if I need the 11th. I don't know if I want 22 cars. I like the evenness of the 10, the 20. I mean, these motherfuckers are getting lapped anyway. You got 2 more cars to get lapped. I mean, it's like...
Not anymore.
They're still getting lapped.
It's pretty close.
They're out here getting lapped, babe. They're still getting
Sauber's out here getting lapped.
Sauber's out here getting lapped, bubby.
It's closer
anyway,
than
all right,
it was,
We've been on it long enough. That's kind of where it is. We'll see what comes of it. We'll see at what our what our tax dollars can do here. Can't wait to see. But yeah, that's the fucking deal there. So watch this space. Other news, technical directive might be screwing Red Bull here.
Well, I wrote this headline. I'm like,
yes,
what asshole wrote that headline?
I was saying, there's no way Jenny wrote that. As I read it, I said, there's no way Jenny. You want to explain this? Because you understand this better than me. What's going on over at Red Bull?
So Peter Windsor.
Yeah.
So there was this technical directive. I think it was called Article 11.2.1 of technical regulations after a unanimous vote by the teams, which previously read this.
Yeah.
Any system or mechanism that can systematically or intentionally produce asymmetric braking torques on a given axis is prohibited. Okay. So it might have, hold on. So there, okay. Okay, so Brian, there was this.
Not the implications of this, but you just said torque, and I all of a sudden felt
okay. So I'll try to cut through this. There was this technical directive that used to say something more vague.
Okay,
essentially to the effect of that you couldn't apply brake pressure unevenly.
Okay.
So basically, you can change brake dynamics in terms of like you could do more front braking. Brake balance is just changing braking in the front, braking in the rear. But what you cannot fucking do is you cannot have a system in place which brakes more to the inside wheel or the outside wheel, because that could help you on turning.
Yeah.
So it used to say, like I said before, any system. So it cannot have any system or mechanism that can systematically or intentionally produce asymmetric braking torques on a given axis is prohibited. Okay. That's what it used to say. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. Okay. So it used to say that. Now it says, now they haven't said that anybody got in trouble, but suddenly it's been switched to this.
Okay.
The latest version states the braking system must be designed so that within each braking circuit, the forces applied to the brake pads are the same magnitude and act as opposite pairs on a specific brake disc. Any system or mechanism that can systematically or intentionally produce asymmetric braking torques on a given axis is prohibited. So basically,
I am. No, I legitimately, that makes sense to me. I'm not kidding.
Shut the fuck up, Brian.
No, I'm actually being. See, this is our issue. I'm actually. That does make sense in my life, in my mind.
Then why don't you explain it? Because all that I get is that they made it more specific and more like less vague.
And what screws Red Bull because they're the ones who are employing this more than other teams is what the implication is.
The implication, well, all that can be gleaned is that this happened right around the time that Max stopped being able to turn so good.
I see. Oh, so this is what caused it.
There's correlation. There's no causation. This is just like people are putting 2 and 2 together. They're like, okay, so this directive came down and happened around the same time that Max started screaming about not being able to turn.
There we go.
And Peter Windsor Peter Windsor's tweeted something to the effect of, looks as though RBR might have been running a clever rear cross brake inertia valve. Hate it when they do that. Yeah, before they were obliged to remove it before Miami. This could explain Max's brake drama in Melbourne and turn-in grief since China.
Ooh,
so he had that DNF, I think, in Australia. That's why
his brake went up in flames, exploded in the pit lane. Remember that?
Right. So, and this was supported by Scarborough. Scarbs, he's like a online technical guru.
Yeah.
But F1 Mech, Callum Nicholas said that's bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Now F1 Mech, he's one of the engineers. He's one of the mechanics who builds the car.
Right.
But he puts the engine in. Who knows how much he knows about the brake system? We don't know. He knows more than you and me. He knows more than Peter Windsor and Scarbs. But does he know everything?
Interesting. I wonder. Now I'm I wonder if the explosion of the brake in Melbourne is what caused people to say, "Hey, why is your brake doing that?" Because that was an interesting thing that happened, where his brake not just lit on fire. I've seen plenty of brakes catch fire. When he was coming in, when it fucking exploded, when the brake just fucking exploded. I wonder if there was something in there which caused them to take a closer look. Okay, so this is all to say that this is maybe what is causing the thing. This is what's causing some of Red Bull's woes this year.
Is that now a lot of people are going on the internet saying they cheated. They were cheating. They got caught. And this is the sort of way that the FIA deals with it is they don't punish you as much as they take your little toy away. Right. And then you suffer.
Yeah, like the DOS system.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's not like, it's like there's a difference between that and then like when Ferrari was just like fucking with their sensors.
Allegedly.
This is what this whole game is. This whole game is finding clever ways around the rules.
Now that's the question. Is it cheating if you find a loophole?
No. That's like the whole game. That's this whole game. Now, turning off sensors is cheating because there's clear rules and then you turn off a sensor and then that is clearer, 1-to-1.
But sometimes these guys, they don't turn off sensors. Sometimes they find a way. Okay, if the sensor's counting fuel, like we'll route the fuel around the sensor. Is that cheating?
Right. Yeah.
Is that is that cheating?
That seems a little more like cheating. Yes, it does. Yeah, that seems a little bit more like cheating. Anyway, Red Bull's suffering because of it, possibly. But there's this whole this year. We're halfway through. Let's discuss the year so far. Vankas, this collaboration is brought to you by CBDMD. Listen, millions of people experience burnout daily, leading to stress, anxiety, and sleepless nights. CBDMD offers a diverse range of products specifically designed to support sleep, focus, and recovery, providing the perfect solution to combat daily stressors. With CBDMD, you can unwind, relax, and get a restful sleep you need. Crafted from USA-grown hemp and rigorously third-party tested for quality and safety, CBDMD delivers high-quality CBD and THC products that seamlessly fit into your daily routine. Whether you need to take the edge off a long week or enhance your overall well-being, CBDMD has the right solution for you. Visit cbdmd.com to explore their full range of products, expertly formulated to help you feel your best. And as always, you can use the promo code FRIDAY for 30% off, plus free shipping at cbdmd.com. Committed to transparency, CBDMD conducts rigorous third-party lab testing on all its products. Each product is accompanied by a certificate of analysis on their website that verifies its potency and ensures it's free from contaminants such as pesticides, heavy metals, and molds. This product is not for use or for sale to persons under the age of 21. This product should be used only as directed on the label. It should not be used if you are pregnant or nursing. Consult with a physician before use if you have serious medical condition or use prescription medications. Visit cbdmd.com to explore the extensive range of products and find the perfect solution for your needs. And don't forget to use the code FRIDAY at checkout for 30% off plus free shipping. Also, if you are not yet subscribed to the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. As they would say, smash that subscribe button, dude. Because we're trying to get to 30,000. We're at 29.1. We're trying to hit that 30,000. Let's see how far we can take this thing on the YouTube. So if you're listening on Spotify, go over to YouTube and subscribe there. And if you're already watching this on YouTube, subscribe while you can, baby. We made predictions 6 months ago. I watched the episode. Gotta say, watched the episode and was like, look at these guys. Look at these guys being right about a lot of stuff. Now, we had a constructor's prediction. And for the most part, we've been pretty right. The thing that has been the spanner in the works is that we thought that Haas was going to get last. Haas currently in 7th. Now, what we said was that Gunter's gone. They're going to be terrible. Now, what we also now know is that this is Gunter's car, baby. So, like, at the end of the day, we didn't really understand. I was like, of course, it's still going to be good. It's still Gunter's car. So that's really what's through the spanner of the works there. But what we had as our constructor standings was we had where are versions of it? We had Haas in last, Stake F1 team Kick Sauber in 9th, Williams in 8th, Alpine in 7th, Aston Martin in 6th, Visa Cash App Racing Bulls in 5th. And then we had a difference of this. We had Mercedes 4th. You had McLaren in 3rd. I had Ferrari in 3rd. You had Ferrari in 2nd. I had McLaren in 2nd. We had Red Bull winning the constructors. Now, what's actually happening is that it's Sauber in last, Williams, Alpine, then Haas, and then Red Bull, then Aston Martin. So without Haas, we got the rest of that order right. We were a little bit bullish on Stake F1 team Kick Sauber. I mean, sorry. We were a little bullish on Visa Cash App Racing Bulls,
of course,
but we said they get 5th. Currently, they're in 6th. Yeah. But then the rest, we have pretty right. You were more bullish on Ferrari than they wound up being right. But then the question right now for the rest of this year is, what is this top 4 going to look like?
I think McLaren's going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Red Bull's going to be 2nd.
Yep. And then it's a question of, can Mercedes catch Ferrari? Right now, Mercedes is at 266. Ferrari's at 345. We have 10 races left.
Hell yeah.
You think Mercedes catches Ferrari?
I think so. Don't you?
Yeah, I think
they catch
so.
him.
Though we are getting into some stuff that maybe should be a little bit more in Ferrari's wheelhouse.
They should. Lots of things should benefit Ferrari.
But last
year, Ferrari's the shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Ferrari, but they picked up steam last year as we entered into the street tracks. Remember, like, come Vegas, they were actually the only other players beside Red Bull when it came to there. So that's the question is,
right. Like they were good in
Mercedes,
Vegas and Singapore and those kinds
can
of
Mercedes
places.
catch Ferrari? And you're thinking yes.
I still think yes. I'm a big momentum guy.
Yeah, you're a big momentum guy. I'm not sure. I'm going to say no. And we'll see how we end at the end of the year. I'm also like, I know that Red Bull, part of me is like, is McLaren going to catch Red Bull? It's like,
yes, they have two drivers that
I know,
that perform.
but I kind of can see there's maybe chaos that's brewing at McLaren.
Let me be clear. I think Max is going to keep wiping the floor with Lando.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that he can score twice as many points as the two of them together.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, I think you're probably right. But I'm gonna hold on that Mercedes does wind up in fourth, and we should have made that bet with Mr. H where we would have gotten a watch. That would have been the right bet.
What was the bet that we should have made?
He was like, we said that Mercedes was going to get in fourth, and he was like, want to bet? And I was like, and then he was like, $10,000 versus, or I get 10K, or if you win, like, I'll give you like one of my really nice watches, which is worth probably a lot more than 10K. So we'll see if we should have made that bet or whether it was smart that we didn't come the end of the year.
It's going to be a nail biter.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one to like.
I don't have enough money to be that stressed.
Yeah, I don't have 10K to just throw around. That's subscribe to the Patreon.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Okay.
So I can squander it on stupid bets like that.
That's right. Our other predictions, we had driver battle predictions. We had K-Mag versus Hulkenberg. Matt, you said that K-Mag was going to get him. That Hulk is a quali merchant.
Brutal. I mean, both things are true.
One does not negate the other.
Well, he's a quality merchant, but that didn't help me.
Yeah, no, he's out here having a great year. I think he's had 22 points to K-Mag's 5. That's a big margin. I had Hulk there. We said Bottas would make an improvement. Unclear whether that's been what's happening because they're both at 0 points. We had Logan Sargent getting 8 points this year. Now, listen, there's 10 races to go. James Val's out here saying that the only thing that's keeping Williams down is their weight. That they're just heavy. That if they were able to take their weight off, they'd be just like
fat shaming his car.
Just fat shaming his own car.
That's toxic.
That was
behavior
ambitious.
by James.
That was ambitious to go for Logan Sargent with 8
points.
Well,
apparently the over-under on BetMGM was 7.5.
Yeah, there we go.
So if you had pounded that under, you'd be looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, how many points do you think Logan Sargent winds up with at the end of this year? Do you think he gets a single point?
I think he gets one.
I think he gets
I think he gets one at the USGP.
Yeah.
And then he flies off. And
okay,
Eagle just picks him up and he flies away.
Yeah, this is a prediction for the rest of the year. Logan Sargent gets 1 point. He gets 1 10th place finish. Gasly, Ocon, we both had Gasly taking it. We said that he'd win by 4 or 5 points. Currently, where is Gasly at? Gasly's at 6 points. Ocon's at 5 points.
Fuck yes.
So we'll see. Who do you think's taking that the rest of the year? What are your predictions for the rest of the year? Gasly, what do you think? How many do you think he wins by the end of the year?
1 point.
One. You think it's maybe that's the end?
I think that might be a wrap for them, but
this might be their 4 or 5 points for the whole year.
Yeah.
Lewis versus George. We both said that it was going to be a massacre. That Lewis was going to.
I think Lewis is going to about to turn on the Jets.
Yeah. And he already had. I mean, he's beating him by a pretty significant margin right now.
We said at least
at
one
150
crash.
points. He's got 150 points, and George Russell's at 116. So that's not nothing.
Wait, where's Lewis at?
150. And
damn
George
it,
at 116.
Oh damn! And dude, it was close for a second, and now it's
he's pulled out a lead.
Yeah,
it's it's my ping pong theory, dude. It's my ping pong theory. he makes it interesting for himself.
It's about to be a bloodbath now that the car.
Yeah, we did say that there was going to be at least one or two crashes between the two of them. There hasn't really been much between the two of them this year. What do you think's happening the rest of the year with George and Lewis, besides Lewis pulling out that lead even further?
I think maybe George does one lunge.
Yeah. On some race where like they both have pace for, I know Lewis was like a little bit pissed off after Spa with that one stop.
Yeah, but then it bit him in the ass.
It bit him in the ass, but that doesn't stop. I feel like there's the blood there is boiling a little bit.
With his always never punting, always going for it in Madden, QB sneak bullshit. Yeah.
Yuki versus Daniel. You said that you backed Yuki, and I said that Daniel was going to take it, and I should have backed the kid, dude. You were right. I was wrong. Yeah. I will take that.
Yeah.
The rest of the year, where do you see that? Where do you think Yuki and Daniel
I gotta stick with my son.
What do you think that gap is by the end of the year?
Son that myself and Nicole Piastri co-parent.
That's right.
Across the globe.
Yuki currently has 22 points. Ricardo has 12. There's a 10-point differential.
He's got him.
What do you think that final point differential is?
I think maybe it stays around the same.
Yeah.
I think Ricardo's improved a little bit. So
yeah.
I don't think.
I think that Daniel closes the gap. I think that Yuki's going to win by like 5 points by the end of the year, but he's gonna hold on to it.
Well, I say fuck you.
The rest of these aren't that interesting. We said that Charles would silence the Carlos debate. That has happened. We said that
Carlos really silent. I mean,
they're kind of silent right now. They're not.
He's only up 13 points.
He is up 15 points. And we said that he would win by 12. And let's remember that Carlos missed a race with his appendix.
Well, like I've said before, it's not so Charles should be punished for having a better appendix.
Totally.
Durability is part of being a good athlete.
That's right. Lando versus Oscar. I said that Lando was going to beat Oscar by over 40 points. You said that he was going to win by under 40 points.
Let's fucking go, dude.
Right now,
I think that gap is narrowing.
Right now, the differential is 32 points.
I think it's going to be 15.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 15.
Do you think that Oscar Piastri maybe beats Lando in the constructors this year?
And the drivers? No.
In the drivers, I mean.
No, but I think next year it is going to be interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I
kind of right now, let's
see. You think he's going to get him this year?
Maybe, dude.
Brian, you two races ago, you thought Lando could win the championship.
Yeah, dude.
What has changed?
He's 3.2. That means he needs to make up 3.2 points per race. I don't know. I think that Lando's driving on tilt. I could see a race where Lando like DNFs and Oscar like gets second, and then all of a sudden it's a whole other ball game here.
It's weird. Oscar will lose a front wing, but he rarely. Oscar will have messier races, but he rarely like fucking just DNFs like completely.
Totally.
Like him and Carlos Sainz will like make out with their front wings.
Yeah.
But it rarely ends in just DNF.
And as Nicole Piastri said, she was like, I never worried about like Oscar's moves. It was just always the crazy people around.
Dude,
yeah, I don't know. Right now, I'm feeling slap happy. I am jet lagged, and right now I'm saying that Oscar is going to beat Lando in the Drivers' Championship because I'm feeling crazy.
Dude, you are such a. Who are you, Kamala Harris, with all your flip flopping?
Yeah, dude, I'm fucking all over the map.
You're Kamala Harris with.
I'm the fucking top cop, bro. Okay, Max versus Checo. We said that. You were saying that
Jenny says
Max
it's Kamala. It's Kamala. I don't know why I said
Kamala.
Kamala. I just turn into an old Jewish lady sometimes.
It is Kamala. Okay, Matt, you were saying that Max is going to win by 175 points. I said that he'd win by 150. Currently, Max is up by We were bullish on Checo at the start of the year. Currently, Max is up by 100. Wait, no.
140.
Max is at. Oh yeah, he's up by 146 points.
100. Nah, so he's getting it.
What is that gap by the end of the year? 200? What's the new adjustment of the thing?
215. Oh 215? No, wait. Well, how much is he up by now?
146 after 10 races.
Yeah, I think he'll get to 200.
I think, yeah. The question is, I'll say 215.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Checo might improve a little bit because they desperately need him to.
We are getting to like the areas where he's supposed to be good. These street tracks.
They might start giving him the upgrades ahead of Max.
Yeah.
Because Max has kind of got this in the bag and they're just looking like idiots.
Yeah, dude. Oh, and then, but some of our big swings, we said that Yuki and Daniel would both get podiums. Don't think that's going to happen this year. I said that Lando Norris is going to win 2, maybe 3 races. I said that Oscar Piastri was going to win 1. What do I think is going to happen? You know what?
After Miami.
Yeah.
You were looking like a genius with the 3 races.
Yeah.
Now you look like an idiot. Just from a psychological standpoint.
I think he's going to win at least 1 more.
Isn't that sad, though?
Yeah,
he should have at least 4.
Yeah.
4 should have been the amount.
Yeah, it's been just a tough.
How has this been?
Which one should he have had? Let's go over this year as it's been. Now, Max was dominating at the start. Wins Bahrain, wins Saudi. His brake blows up in Australia. Carlos Sainz winds up winning that race. They investigate his brakes after that. My feelings don't care about your facts. Japan, he wins. China, he wins, but he was struggling a little bit in China. Miami comes in, and this is when Lando gets his first win.
Now, Oscar actually probably had a
Oscar should have won that race.
Oscar should have won that race.
Oscar should have won that race. Next
Lando
is Imola.
Lando or Oscar could have won that race. I think they both kind of...
Which? Miami or Imola?
Silverstone, right? No,
we're not at Silverstone yet. We're talking... I'm just going through the season chronologically. Miami, Lando wins.
Yeah.
Probably should have been Oscar.
Yes.
What happened to Oscar in that race?
Where? Which one?
In Miami.
He didn't pit. And then there was a safety car. And then there was a safety car. Yeah. So then he got the benefit of that.
He wound up in 13th. I think he had some type of... he must have had some... I think he had a puncture or something. And then his race was totally destroyed. Then there's Imola. Imola was where the cracks started to show, and that was one of the first ones that maybe Lando should have won. Lando then, remember, it was almost caught him at the end. He almost had, it was if I had one more lap, I would have gotten him.
Yes.
If I had one more lap, I would have gotten him. That was the first of that. Then Monaco, Charles Leclerc.
No, Spain he was on, and Spain, Charles Leclerc, I think he won that fair and square. He got pole,
yes,
right?
Definitely.
Where did Lando qualify in that?
I don't know where he qualified, but he wound up 4th.
Yeah.
So I think he qualified. He probably qualified 4th. Piastri got 2nd.
Spain, I think he bottled.
Yes.
Yes. Spain was another one Spain was a bad start.
Spain was when he screwed up the start. Yes.
And are these in order? These aren't.
I'm going through it in order.
Okay.
Spain was when he qualified in pole. Isn't that when George Russell went round the outside, round the outside, round the outside? Yeah,
I think so.
Yes. So he could have, probably should have won Spain, but he messed it. He biffed the start.
Yeah.
Canada, he also could have won.
Where
got second in Canada?
What happened in Canada? Was that a strategy fuck up?
What did happen?
There was changing conditions in that one.
Yeah, there was changing conditions there.
I don't get how people can remember every race.
It's crazy when people are like, well, in Canada, of course, they
What happened in Lando?
Yeah, it was wet at the start of Canada. He qualified third.
But he had a shot in that race, I think. They were fast in the wet, I think. And then it was... No, that was Silverstone. Silverstone was that crazy. Yeah.
No, dude, Canada was amazing. That was when K-Mag was on the intermediates, and he just like made up he was on the full wets. No, K-Mag was on the full wets, and he made up like a million places in like the first 2 laps. Canada was also where Albon had that unbelievable overtake. That's still probably overtake of the year. Albon's
the double overtake, which Liam Lawson told us in an interview that we haven't released yet because we were waiting for something to happen.
For Liam Lawson to be on Red Bull.
Yeah. He said that. I was like, did Alex Albon do that on purpose? He was like, absolutely not.
Right.
Like that was definitely like an accident.
Yeah. No, Lando passed Max on track, was leading in Canada in lap 22. And then I think there was that where they pitted at the wrong time and then he was on the wrong tires? I think it might have been.
I mean,
that race was all about when you came in with the safety car.
Oh, and he went off. Jenny says he went off at one point.
Yeah.
So could have won that one.
Yeah, they screwed that up strategy wise because the McLaren effort has not been all Lando. It's just been
it's been accommodation.
It's been the whole thing.
And who won Canada? Was it
Max won Canada?
Max won Canada. Yeah.
Lando got second. Yeah. Then Spain, another one where Lando could have won it. Austria. That's when it all came to blows.
Crashed.
That's when George Russell, sashayed through. Then Silverstone, another one where
was he on pole in Austria?
Austria was just they were first and second. They were next to each other, and then Lando just couldn't get by him. I mean, they were leading that race, and then they crashed. And Lando was dive bombing, and then they wound up, Max
was moving under braking, yeah,
and they wound up crashing. And that
but then they squashed it.
They squashed it in such a healthy, fucking cathartic, good way, dude. Yeah, and then Silverstone, obviously. Another missed opportunity there. Max getting second in a race that he never should have been second at. Hungary.
And what was the Lando mistake there? He just was. It was the wrong. Oh, he was pitted at the wrong time.
Well, yeah, and then he went on the wrong tires. He went on he was copying.
He was trying to cover off someone that they shouldn't have worried about.
Yeah, and then he was on the wrong tires. And then his shit was getting eaten up, and Max wound up winning, beating him by like a significant margin there. And they were good in the wet because they had the right setup. But then when it dried off, they were more really set up for wet conditions in Silverstone.
Oh, yeah.
So then when it dried, they were kind of screwed.
And then Hungary was Hungary next after Silverstone?
Yeah, Hungary is the famous.
And then
think of every
and then he bottled the start.
Sunday morning.
He bottled the start. He bottled the start, and then he wasn't. A lot of people think he wasn't ruthless enough when he was given the team orders. And no, they were trying to cover off Hamilton with Hungary.
Yeah.
When they pitted Oscar, when they undercut Oscar.
Yes.
And they put Oscar in this crazy position. They put the steak in front of the dog, and they're like, now don't eat the steak. It's like, well, don't put the steak in front of the dog then. That's crazy. Right. And then Spa wasn't a win that he bottled.
Right. No, he bottled
he bottled the
podium.
He could have gotten a podium, and somehow Max finished ahead of him, even
and he
though
winds up behind Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's the season of missed opportunities for Mr. Lando Norris. That's what it's been. But what's your favorite race of the year so far?
Probably Silverstone, with all the and being there, changing conditions, Lewis winning, the emotions of that. Not from anybody we saw. Nobody seemed to give a shit. But that was emotional and cool to be there. And to that was amazing. Canada was sick too.
Yeah. For me, it was Hungary. with all of the
yes.
radios.
They were all great.
They've been so many good.
They've been so many good ones, but Silverstone, Hungary with Oscar's first win and all the fucking drama.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you feeling deprived as we talk about this amazing season?
The amount of illness that I felt in Hungary, like, oh my God, he's going to win. Oh my God, he's not going to win. He's not going to win. It's not going to happen. And then, oh, he's going to win, but it's bittersweet. Crazy.
Okay, here's a prediction. This year, we're starting from the second half of the season, let's say everyone's starting at 0 points. Who's winning the second half of the season?
Ooh. I still think it's Max.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think. No way.
No way?
No way. I think it's
he doesn't
Lewis. I think it's Lewis or Lando or Oscar.
Okay. Lewis, Orlando, or Oscar. Now, it's interesting you say that because I don't think Max has a bad car. It's just they're all kind of around the same-ish, right?
Yeah.
And the Red Bull, they just are more buttoned up, man. They just lock it down when it's close. They win the Canadas. They do the damage control in the spas.
But they're also not going to be they're going to be playing to win the championship. They're going to be playing for Max to just win the championship. So
they're doing pre-event. Well, guess who's not going to be doing that? Max Verstappen.
That's true.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
You're taking Max. Okay, of the three I just said,
Lewis.
Honestly, I think it's going to be Lewis. Yeah,
it's Lewis. Yeah,
I think Lewis wins the second half of the year. I think this Mercedes car is fucking back.
I think Lando and Oscar are going to be busy fucking.
There's going to be
taking
drama
each
there.
They're going to be driving. It's kind of politely nudging each other into the wall at the start, like they always do. And Lewis is going to be doing his thing, and George is going to be chasing his tail a little bit.
Vankas, not only does Cash App sponsor our favorite perfectly branded Formula One team, but they also make it easier for you to save money so you can do things that you love, like going to an F1 race. Boobies. Listen, to be honest, we thought that Cash App was just a way to send people money, right? You just send people money. Hey, Cash App me. Okay, I got you. But actually, it's a faster and simpler way to bank. You can start saving with as little as $1 with no hidden fees, no minimum balance requirements, and no account fees. Minimum balance requirements is crazy. It's just like, let me live. And Cash App lets you do that. And we all know that overdraft fees make no sense. Why are you charging someone if they don't have any money? Plus, when you deposit $300 or more in paychecks, you can get up to $50 in free overdraft coverage. It pays to get paid on Cash App. So go download the app today. Now back to the show. Okay, that's enough predictions for the second half of the year. Now, these boys have been on summer break. Everyone's been enjoying their time. And while they've been on summer break, they've been posting some cute little pics. So we're gonna talk through who's maybe had the best summer break according to social media, which we all know is not fucking real life, dude. Alex Albon was in Switzerland with Lily, and he posed with her. J.W. Anderson pigeon bag like a Turkish shooter from the Olympics. Oh, that's a bag that he's holding in his hands, Jenny? A bag that is in the shape of a pigeon.
How much that bag run?
Yeah, how much is that bag, Jenny?
Jenny, Jenny, text. I need Jenny to text the chat, please.
Pigeon bag, J.W. Anderson. $890 pigeon bag here. And
that's light.
That is light. That's light work. And he's recreating the iconic Turkish sharpshooter from the Olympics. So he's looking like he's having he's having a fun time. Classic girlfriend taking a picture of you pic here.
Yeah.
Charles just on a boat with the dog. Did Lando get a dog too?
Yes.
All these guys are getting dogs, dude. Oh, he didn't get a dog. He's just took pictures with dogs.
Okay.
All right, let's rephrase that. So Lando, Matt and I were under the impression that Lando got a dog. He didn't get a dog. He did a promotional thing.
He rented one.
He did a promotional thing for a nonprofit organization that works with dogs.
Yeah, these cute guys, they don't need cute dogs. It's just too much. It's too much.
There's that there's that scene in The Interview. The Interview with Seth Rogen and James Franco, James Franco plays this like obnoxious E-News host.
Yeah.
And he does all these like fake interviews with celebrities, and then at one point he's like, "And now Joseph Gordon-Levitt with a bunch of puppies," and there's just Joseph Gordon-Levitt with 15 golden retriever puppies. And I'm like, that's what I think of when I see like Charles Leclerc with his dog, Pierre Gasly with his dog.
Well, Charles Leclerc is a puppy.
Right.
Like he himself is a puppy.
What puppy is he? Because he's got a dachshund, a long-haired dachshund, which I had growing up. So I feel connected to that. But like,
well, if long-haired, if your dachshund is anything like,
yeah, dachshunds are notoriously assholes. Yeah. They're notorious dicks.
So your dachshund is not. Your dachshund is emblematic.
He was on a far end of a spectrum. He was certainly to one side of that, but it's not uncommon for dachshunds to be like, aggressive and loud and barky and bitey.
Brian's dachshund was the first dog he was the first dog that I ever experienced where you went to a person's house and you're like, oh, you don't pet that dog.
Yeah.
You never pet him and you stay away from him.
Right.
And I was like, and I thought to myself, what is the point of a dog that you can't pet? That's just like having a shitty.
I didn't
get that. I was 10.
But but when you see dogs, they're just like open to everyone. You're like,
yeah, no. You definitely, you prefer a dog that discriminates now.
Yes. Right.
But as a kid, you're like, who wants a mean dog? I'm thinking to myself, I want a mean dog. I want a dog that's mean to everybody but me. I don't want a whore dog.
Yeah. If Charles Leclerc was a dog, and this is interesting that he didn't do this, I think he would have been a King Charles Spaniel. Like to me, it's and the name is right there. Like he's it's Charles, a King Charles. Like he's not a dachshund to me. He's a King Charles Spaniel. He's got the doughy eyes.
So he's kind of useless, you're saying?
Well, all of these dogs. I mean, dachshunds, I guess, like would hunt, but do you think Charles Leclerc's fucking dachshund is burrowing and hunting squirrels? No.
Yeah, he's definitely got a floppy-eared helplessness to him.
Yeah.
What is Lando? Lando is like
he's like a
Yorkie.
Poodle.
A Yorkie.
Yeah, or a Yorkie.
What's Max?
Rottweiler.
Or like a nerdier high performance, like a dachshund, like a greyhound, like a miniature greyhound.
George Russell is a greyhound.
Jenny, Jenny's texting the weirdest. What the fuck is
a Vizsla?
A Weimaraner is perfect.
For who? For Max?
For Max, yeah. A Weimaraner. Athletic, intense dogs. What dog would Lewis is English Bulldog, obviously.
Lewis is I don't think Lewis is an English Bulldog. What is Lewis?
He's got swag like an English Bulldog.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, maybe English Bulldog. Maybe it does work. The two of them work together. The vibes are right.
What
Valtteri
Bottas? He is like, to me, he's like a weird random dog. What's the dog in the
He's like a mutt
Rascals?
of like 18 different things.
What's the dog, the Little Rascals dog? Little Rascals dog that Patton had. Patton's dog. Patton's.
Oh, with the that's like a That's like a pit bull.
People say bull terrier. People say Clay
Bull
Thompson
terrier.
looks like him. He's a bull terrier. Yeah, he's a bull terrier.
Is who?
Bottas.
Bottas?
Or is that?
I view Bottas as like a more like flowy dog that's just kind of like, what's up, man? Like,
like a Lassie dog?
Yeah,
a
but
collie?
like more kind of like not as prim and proper, like a kind of like more
like like a Westie. Jenny has all these niche, a Commodore.
Yes. This is kind of Bottas vibes.
Oh my God. Like the one on the cover of Beck.
Yeah.
Remember that album? Odelay.
Odelay.
Jenny Odelay. That you nailed it. He's the one on the cover of Beck that's just flying. That is fucking Bottas. Or is Max just a bitchy cat?
Right. He is such a cat.
Yeah, he's a cat person.
Oscar Piastri's also a cat, but if he was
Oscar
a dog,
Piastri is just a cat.
Yeah, they're not really. I mean, we've done the dog. What Carlos Sainz? Just like,
what's the hottest dog?
Chocolate Lab. Jenny says
Lab. English Springer Spaniel.
English Springer Spaniel. I don't think that's Carlos Sainz.
You're like, I don't want to fuck that dog. So
yeah, that dog's not quite hot enough.
Hot enough.
I mean, he's like kind of in golden vibes. He's kind of
Chocolate
like,
Lab.
Chocolate Lab, I think, works.
But Chocolate Labs are like not cunning enough.
Right. Chocolate like he needs to be more
like Irish Setter is pretty good. Look at an Irish Setter. Jenny, what do you feel? How do you feel about an Irish Setter?
Irish Setters are gorgeous.
Jenny's like, not to steer this not to take over this section.
You
but
can't hear what Jenny's saying because she's not being recorded, but she's coming in hot with a bunch of different fucking dogs.
You don't understand.
The short-haired pointer. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I kind of could see this for Carlos Sainz, a short-haired pointer. Oh, I could see a short-haired pointer for Carlos Sainz.
Short-haired pointer,
sure.
and this is a hotter dog for sure.
Okay. What other drivers who else do we care about? What other drivers should we do for this? Because then we're having fun. Fernando Alonso.
What is the most terrifying small dog? What is like the piranha?
What is the most?
What is like the dog that's small? Not.
No. Terrifying in like that it's like will eat you, not like that it's disgusting to look at. Not like the one that wins the ugliest dog contest every year. That's not Fernando Alonso. I feel like he's like a German Shepherd mixed with like a pit bull or like a Dachshund. He's like a Dachshund German Shepherd.
Yeah, he's like a large, ferocious dog fucked a Yorkie.
Exactly.
Somehow. In like an unholy union that should have never happened.
Yuki Tsunoda, Yorkie.
A terrifying Yorkie.
A Yorkie with that if you knock on the door, he'll fucking...
I dated a girl that was like, do not touch this Yorkie. It will bite your shit.
Fuck you up. And then Pierre Gasly's obviously Golden Retriever or Golden Lab.
What are dogs that fuck all the time? You're like, stop humping that.
In there. And Esteban Ocon.
Esteban Ocon is giving like
he's also
he's giving like Dalmatian vibes.
Dalmatian.
Like
Dalmatians all they do is help. Dalmatians are public servants, dude.
No. Here's the thing. Everyone thinks Dalmatians are cool, but they're actually kind of
yeah, Jenny's saying
not
Dalmatians
nice.
are mean. They're horrible
not,
dogs.
Like they have good PR because of the movies. But they're actually like, and they're cute, but they're actually like, they go blind.
Oh, interesting.
Like, because of the spots, they go blind at 8 or 9. They're not good pets.
Interesting.
Or
right.
a husky or huskies.
Huskies are
also
so beautiful, though.
They're beautiful, but they shed a lot.
Right.
They're a pain in the ass.
Interesting. Okay. All right. I think we did
Daniel Ricciardo.
Oh,
he's
shit.
He's a golden retriever.
He's a golden retriever. Pierre Gasly, golden lab. Daniel Ricciardo, golden retriever. There we go.
There you go.
All right. That kind of almost does it. The only other thing really worth...
Wait, which one is George Russell?
Greyhound.
Greyhound. Or is he's pretty Jack Russell-y as well.
Yeah,
he's
sure.
pretty peppy and ferocious.
Yeah, Greyhounds are also like, as when they're not like in retirement, they're just kind of like, they just chill.
They're pretty chill.
You gotta make sure that you like run them, but then they're just like, they just lounge around the house. Jage wants a Greyhound.
Jage is a Greyhound.
Jage is a Greyhound. I can't unsee.
Jenny just keeps.
Who does Jenny have for?
Jenny just keeps sending us the deepest cuts of dogs. Just like Jenny, the B side of a B side. Maybe you can do a thing
on the Patreon where you assign dogs to people as instead of your newsletter one year.
All right,
Jenny's maybe going to do that. So subscribe to the Patreon. Get in there. Okay. That just about does it. The only other thing that's worth noting, Kyle Larson is in the news talking shit, dude. He said that he's better than Max Verstappen.
Well, read the actual quote.
He said, "I know in my mind I'm better than him as an all-around driver." Larson said via Flow Racing, "There's probably no way I can go win a Formula One race in Monaco, but I think I have a better shot at him just because of the car element. That's what gives me ease and confidence that, like, I know I'm better than him. Maybe not in an open-wheel Indy car or Formula One car, but that's one discipline. I think I would beat him in everything else." I saw a meme of from Mad Men where he's in the elevator with
I already know
guy.
the meme. I don't know the post, but I know the meme.
The meme is he's in the elevator with
this
guy
from Superstore.
It's the guy from Superstore,
yeah.
And he says, like, you know,
I feel bad for you.
I feel bad for you. I think that your life is sad. You're washed up, and you don't have it. I think I'm better than you. And then Don Draper just goes, "I don't think about you at all." And then he exits the elevator. And someone did that with Kyle Larson and Max Verstappen. But I don't know. We watched the Max Verstappen documentary, which you can hear our review of episode 1 on the Patreon. We're going to have more episode reviews coming soon. And seems like he's pretty good in other disciplines as well.
Yeah. And you know, Kyle Larson's like, yeah, he's only good at Formula One. And Max goes, "I know, it's annoying. Like, I'm trying to get to these other things."
No, he's like, "Listen, I'm good at the rest of the shit. I'm winning so much in Formula One that it's hard for me to, you know, really commit myself to other shit."
It's interesting. So Kyle Larson, he's very good NASCAR driver.
Yep.
He won Rookie of the Year, I think, in IndyCar.
Yeah, well, so he did I think he only did the Indy 500, and he did pretty well at the Indy 500.
Yeah, he's obviously very good.
He's amazing.
The question is what does his stock car experience and his limited IndyCar experience, and obviously, I think the routes, this was explained to us before by a NASCAR driver. If you want to be a NASCAR driver, your route is completely different than if you want to be an IndyCar driver. So in America, you either race, if you want to be an IndyCar driver, you go karting and then you do open seater racing. Whereas like, if you want to be NASCAR, you do like dirt track racing.
You do dirt track racing. Yeah.
Dirt track racing. So it's a completely different, and it's pretty
upbringing.
It's a pretty like early split.
Yeah.
So the question is like, so you have WEC, you have GT racing, you have rally
feel like
car.
Where you'd meet is in GT racing. That's like the most middle ground.
Yeah, and I think it's like, how much different I think probably GT racing, you could make the argument that GT cars are probably closer to stock cars.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, there are a lot of road courses, which Max does road courses and Kyle Larson just turns fucking left all day. So
well, now NASCAR's starting to do some more road. They're doing some road courses now.
That's true.
But it wouldn't be on ovals. You wouldn't meet on ovals because that's completely his domain. And I think that what Kyle Larson says is like, hey, I've got all this different experience. So I think you meet in the middle with GT racing. Much more similar cars to NASCAR.
I think what Kyle Larson is saying, though, but I don't think that's what Kyle Larson is saying. I think Kyle Larson is saying if we just did like a decathlon of driving, I would win. So Max would win these two things, and I would beat him in all the other things. Like,
I don't know, dude. I think he'd pick it up. He'd pick it the fuck up, dude.
Rallying.
What would the decathlon be? It would be IndyCar,
rally, IndyCar.
It would be IndyCar, Formula cars.
Yeah.
NASCAR, rally, GT.
WEC, GT.
What else?
Like WEC hypercar, GT car.
Right.
It would be like the shit they do in supercars in Australia.
Uh-huh.
That's like 7.
Go-karting.
There's like go-karting. Go-karting.
Yes.
I don't like his chances in go-karting.
No.
I probably some sprint car, like dirt shit.
Right.
And then hill climbs. Hill climbs are like, that's another one.
I don't know if you need 10, but definitely like those 7 or 8.
It's a decathlon, bro.
Yeah, well, it's never going to happen.
Oh, and you got to do drag racing.
And the ones where they have like the big roofs with the wing is just like that huge.
Yeah,
roof.
that's like fucking Formula E. And then you know what I want to do? Then I want to I want to call the cops on both of them.
That's right.
So you can outrun
Ricky Bobby style.
So
put some Lucky Charms underneath the bottom of their car and see how just fucking go fast.
Yeah.
All right. Before we wrap up, we have one last thing we haven't covered. Dude, Oscar Piastri had a cracked rib.
Yeah.
We haven't discussed this.
Well, I'm a little hurt that it wasn't shared with us beforehand, that we had to find out like everybody outside the family.
Yep.
That hurt. That hurt. I took that personally.
She failed to mention that Oscar had a cracked rib. He cracked his 6th rib. He put a X-ray of it. Now the X-ray was dated August. Oh, I don't know how they do this though. It says 8/7/24, but I don't know if that's
which way the month
European.
Is.
Fuck. Either July 8th.
So he's saying that he's been out here with a broken rib.
Yes.
Putting the hurt down on motherfuckers.
Because July 7th. Oh, so wait. You know what that probably means? That means that after he probably heard it during Silverstone. Because Silverstone was July 7th.
Yeah.
So he probably cracked it at Silverstone. Guess what? Then he comes out, he wins the next race in Hungary.
Dude, that whole family like wins the internet.
They don't give a
they just out here just fucking making news with their posts, their cryptic ass posts about their ribs and their K-pop fandom. His sister has recently dropped an account she's on TikTok. She's going through all her K-pop fandom, and I'm just like, I didn't know one thing she said. I was like, it was like a whole other language.
Even I, as someone who like fashions himself, someone who's like into what the youth are into, that completely 100% missed me. All of it. Yeah. That's an area that I know absolutely nothing about.
Major blind spot. She'll have to give us a K-pop tutorial at some point. Oh, and the other news is that apparently, I love this. Apparently, Adrian Newey's in the news because their hypercar is really fast. And this isn't really relevant to F1 other than like, to me, this hypercar project with Adrian Newey it's just like the best breakup sex ever.
Uh-huh.
You know, like,
go on.
It's just like one more time they're gonna fuck, you know?
Right. Because the
Why
car
aren't you
is just
with me on
amazing.
this?
Well, I'm having trouble understanding what is so good about it.
It's like they're breaking up, but they got this one more project they're gonna do together.
Right.
And apparently,
see, to me, I'm like, it's sadder because I'm just like, oh fuck, like, why is it? It's not like, oh, this is awesome. It's like, god damn it.
No, it's sad, but it's also like you kind of sometimes you remember kind of sometimes the first time you have sex with somebody and the last time.
Right.
Those are sometimes the most memorable.
That
times.
is true.
The middle sex kind of all runs together.
Totally. That's just upkeep.
That's just, you're like hello and then goodbye. you know?
Yeah. Totally.
So that's kind of how I see this hypercar project. It's just breakup sex.
It's just a little breakup sex and going fast, dude.
Anyway.
All right. That's our fucking pod. We got Gunter, our episode, Vank Hours with Gunter is coming out on Thursday. The season's starting up. Oh, we want to do a prediction? Let's do a prediction. For Zandvoort.
What?
For Zandvoort. That's next week.
Oscar Piastri.
That's Zandvoort is where he crashed, where Daniel broke the wrist. That was
Oscar Piastri with a healed rib. Hopefully,
the healed rib comes back with a victory. I'll be on that. I'll be on that wave with you, 100%. Oscar Piastri wins in Zandvoort. We'll see what Gunter has to say. Okay, Venkas.
Goodbye, Vankas.
Until next time.